this whole film series is really like starting on the other end of the pipeline where this gas is coming from. And, where it really ends up is the pipeline ends up in our home. Thing you kind of want to say to people who have gas appliances, what do you want them to know about these things that are in their homes?
No, gas is not clean. So I think traditionally the focus has been on polluting sources such as coal and oil, but as the pollution from these sources have dropped dramatically for many, many reasons, there has been an increased interest in the public health burden of other sources such as gas, which till now has been relatively overlooked. And I think the findings are that that is not the case. Gas is not clean. In New York alone, outdoor air pollution from the burning of gas in our buildings caused almost 1,300 premature deaths, which translates to health costs of at least $14.4 billion. There has also been increasing attention on the indoor air quality impacts from gas stoves, especially when more than 40 million households in the US have one. And we're seeing, researchers and air agencies such as the California Air Resources Board reporting that gas stoves can release hazardous air pollutants while they're operating, and even when they are turned off. They basically sampled the contents of gas being delivered to homes to really understand what is in the gas. And I think the results were really concerning. And the overarching takeaway is that gas is much worse than we thought. So researchers found that when gas leaks or doesn't burn completely in our homes, there are several air toxins that are released, such as benzene and other hazardous air pollutants with very serious health implications. So specifically with benzene, it was found present in 95% of the samples that were taken. And this is really concerning because benzene exposure has been linked to cancer, and there is no safe level of exposure to benzene. And I think another takeaway is that we could be exposed to small leaks without knowing it, and when appliances aren't even in use. So basically, we can't assume gas is healthy or clean anymore. There are compounds in the gas that we're exposed to when it's unburned, which really adds to what we already know we are exposed to when we are burning the gas. One of the main pollutants that I'm thinking of that is commonly associated with using gas stoves is nitrogen dioxide, also known as NO2, which is created when we burn fuel. NO2 exposures in the home have been associated with more severe asthma, and increased use of inhalers in children. And this gas also affects asthmatic adults, and it contributes to both the development and exacerbation of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
Who are some of the most vulnerable populations when it comes to these different pollutions, whether it comes from leaks or the burning of the gas inside of people's homes?
Yeah, so there are a few populations that come to mind, specifically the children, the elderly, and lower income households. So starting with children, a meta-analysis looked at the association between gas stoves and childhood asthma and found that, children in homes with a gas stove have a 42% increased risk of experiencing asthma symptoms than those that do not have a gas stove. For the elderly, research has also shown that low levels of air pollution from combustion activities can really severely increase the risk of several serious cardiac and respiratory diseases in the elderly. And finally, the structure of your home impacts how much indoor pollution you are exposed to. So what this means is that indoor exposure to pollution can be higher for some people than for others. So people who live in larger homes have well-maintained appliances and have working range hoods that vent to the outdoors and have well-ventilated homes in general will be less exposed to those that live in smaller homes with older, malfunctioning appliances, and whose homes are just poorly ventilated in general. It really shows us that the health costs of just having gas even if you're not burning it in our homes, is not zero.